what do we need? We'll start getting our military setup because we are invading UK this session. So just to give you a brief highlight as to where we are presently, uh, India, that is my civilization, is located in Eastern Asia, Southeast Asia. The army is so weak. Okay, so England is openly declaring that they are hostile against us. So it was a good call to start off with the military production. We are in East Asia, and Delhi is located in real world Cambodia or Vietnam, and we extend all the way into modern day India, present real world India. To the northeast, we have Wroclaw, which is one of the cities of a straggler city of Poland, which is in the northeast. Even further from northeast is we have Jakarta, the Indonesian capital. Spain, just immediately to the west of us. Spain's capital Madrid is located next to Calcutta. Madrid is located in real world Pakistan. Alright, so we really want, no, we just spread to London. Let's go straight to London. Spain seems to be moving. I've noticed that your relationship with, yeah, well, you have to get over it. I think England is one of the more annoying AI civs in the entire game, according to me at least. So we are having almost enough money to purchase troops and start marching towards the English capital of London in the northwest, and just waiting for a turn to start here. Oh, we have entered the industrial era. That's good. And we want to get the artillery gun that will help us in taking over cities much more easily. Korea just lost its capital. Korea was not doing very well since the beginning of the game. It was Carthage which took them over. Germany is not even in the game. Seoul is located in Mexico or modern day Panama, a real world Panama. Okay, well, the World Congress has welcomed city states. Unfortunately, we do not have many city states on our side, but that shouldn't be much of a problem. I'm still yet to decide as to how I'm going to win the game, like what is my end strategy, but I have an overall idea for it. Like, I would prefer a domination strategy, but still in two minds about how we are going to go about this. The English Empire is stronger than us militarily. We should not engage in combat without carefully considering and time spent growing and improving our military. I have noticed that the advisor council is usually not that great at giving proper advice. Like, I would be winning a war, like I would have taken so many cities, and it would still say that we need to end our hostilities because we will end up losing the war, and that's okay. So mostly we are going through turns right now. Like, we don't have much of a choice because our military force is still building up, so we won't have much to do. However, since the force is building up, here's the plan for attacking Britain. What we are going to do is, as soon as our initial force is ready, we're going to move those forces to Bangalore. In Bangalore, we'll already have purchased some troops to move ahead with our primary forces, while our cities generate the next set of troops which will back us up when we reach London. This way, we will have a sizable amount of troops that will help us in taking over London. At the same time, we will have a constant stream as well, because in this war, it's for us the major disadvantage is that we are located very far from the English capital, which is all the way up in the northwest. Fortunately for us, there is nobody we have to go through. Like, we have Rome over here, but they shouldn't come in the middle for us. Sejong has again lost their capital. Carthage has taken over Seoul again. So I wonder if that means the end for South Korea in this. Jakarta uncovered that is secretly plotting against Elizabeth. That's no problem. We want friends in this war. The word lockdown, I think, has gained a difference, has managed to achieve a different definition in the last few months. I mean, we weren't using this word all that often prior to the pandemic. I mean, I was looking up the meaning of the word the other day, And I found out that I so in Wikipedia you can look at the previous versions of articles. So I was curious as to whether the definition of lockdown has changed, and it seems that it has. Before the pandemic and all, there was no mention of what do we say, like lockdown meant something else. It did not use the words to prevent spread of diseases and all. Lords has been captured by Rome. It seems Poland is about to fall to Rome. Rome has almost reached the Polish capital. We have our military almost set, and we'll soon be invading London, and India will have its revenge. You have -1 gold. I'm gonna help you out and give you just 1 gold. Should feel nice for you. Just like that. I am a benevolent god who is very rich and has 6,379 pieces of gold coins in his bank account. You guys must have read about the entire European Super League thing that's been going on in Europe all this while. And I don't know, I'm not exactly sure about what I feel. Not because it's a lack of information. I have read some things about it. I know the general sense as to what the problem seems to be, that there are rich clubs that are creating their own league of football, and that it will be exclusive to them. The system is somewhat similar to the uh, Major Baseball League in the US. But what I have also understood is that these clubs are trying to maximize their revenue as well through the creation of a unique league for themselves. I'm not. I read both the arguments, and I have to say the exclusivity of the league does sound appealing, but in reality, it can be detrimental to the spirit of the game. Football was basically what? It's a game that's played by almost everyone. That is all parts of the society. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, everyone plays football, and everyone loves football. Football is one of the most popular sports in the world. I mean, almost 90% of the countries play it, including India. And what I've understood is that Super League, what it's trying to do is that it's creating an exclusive league for all the top clubs, and I would disagree with that, because the thing about Super League is that the problem that it's going to create is this exclusivity. Is not always good. I mean, if you were to take example with the closed economic system that India had, our domestic industries were thriving in the closed market, but did not have the capacity to compete in the open market because it did not have the skill or the competence to do so. Aditya, you're saying ban Super League, it's shit. I understand that. I understand the sentiment. I have to agree. Super League is something that is probably going to create more problems than it's required. I mean, I do not see the need for a European Super League when you already have the UEFA Champions League. I mean, Champions League is one of the more prestigious tournaments, if I'm not wrong. I mean, it's one of the best there is. But what I've come to understood, one of the problems being that the smaller clubs, I don't want to use the term poor, but the media is trying to use the term poor and create some kind of a try to show it off as a class struggle between the rich and the poor. It's not that. They're small clubs. They're not poor. I mean, poor. There's no such thing as a poor club. All clubs take a lot of money to maintain. So if you're having a football club, you're not poor. Anyway, so coming back to the point as to about the Super League. So what it's doing is that it's creating this exclusive league. The problem is that since it's exclusive to the bigger clubs, they simply do not have any incentive to improve their game. I mean, it did say that there would be 5 teams which would be on a rotationary basis, 10 permanent teams and 5 rotationary teams. I do not agree with that concept that that the rotationary team should be there. Why have it at all? I mean, the entire league should be rotationary. That is what the Champions League does. The concept about Champions League is that the best clubs who have performed the best that year get to play off against the champions in the other leagues across Europe. A Super League is something that I am completely skeptical about. And as Aditya said, ban Super League. It's against the spirit of the game. Sports promotes equality. So if we start thinking about stuff like the clubs, if they start thinking about revenue and all, see, I get it. Clubs have two sides. There's the sporting side, and then there's the um, commercial side, the corporate side of sports. And I understand that you have to look at the revenue aspect as well, but what you don't realize is that you're inadvertently creating such a disparity in your sport that people might not even think about watching it. So in the long run, it's probably going to cause problems in terms of revenue, because people will stop watching. It's bad to commercialize a sport, something like football. Football is an amazing sport. I love football. Even though I watch very limited amount of football, you could say I'm one of the people who watches football every World Cup and posts stories about it. But I do enjoy the sport. Like whenever I see a good match, like I watched the last El Clasico which took place, and I enjoyed watching it, and I watched it with my friends and all. And I even write about match reviews about whenever there is a Manchester derby. There's a Champions League semi-final going on right now. Oh, maybe that's why we're not getting our usual 100 viewers. Cries on the inside. Your delegation played a part in the failure of our proposal to the World Congress. Take that, England. Let's see how this war goes. I hope it goes well for us. I hope we live up to the title of this stream. If we don't, Aditya, please be ready to edit the stream title to India fails to colonize UK. Becomes a colony again. Okay, so they seem to have literally no military presence in London, so we should be fine. We have just spread Hinduism to London, and London is now a Hindu city. Aditya, you will appreciate this joke. I know you will. I just know you will. Our missionaries and prophets go where they please. London is... I had a great prophet. It was probably like Baba Ramdev or someone who went there and just said follow Hinduism. So they started following him. See, it says 15 followers of Hinduism in London. So it's the major religion now. It's that easy. You don't even need to destroy any masjid to do that. Oh shit, Twitch is gonna ban me. Last stream I wanted to talk about celebrities on social media. I didn't get an opportunity to do so though. Basically what I'm saying is the entire aspect of how celebrities act on social media. I think there's a harm principle which basically says that freedom is as long as your actions are only affecting you, that your liberty extends. The moment your actions start affecting those around you, that is when your liberty ends and social morality begins. Basically, this thought came into my mind because last week you guys must have read about how Dogecoin appreciated its value by almost 300% in just one day. People made a fortune out of it. Not always is it good. Sure, you have your freedom of expression, you have the right to express what is the future of the market and all. I think it's unjust that the tweet of one person is able to manipulate. I'm gonna call it manipulation only, but it manipulates the market so much. Like 300% growth in a day is astounding. I put 900 rupees and I got 3000 rupees back in return. Like my return on investment is huge. I think that's 3 times the amount I got in return. Should a celebrity post such or tweet such statements that affects a huge market like the cryptocurrency market so drastically? I feel that there has to be some kind of restraint on the part of celebrities, because again you're playing with people's lives over here. I mean, yes, some people, you would say that you should not listen to celebrities speaking on the internet, but then that's for us. But there are a majority of the people who use social media, most of them are not very well educated. That is, they probably they are highly influenced by popular personalities online, right? So they tend to read up and take actions on the basis of what they say. And I understand where you're coming from, and I also understand the point that people say that it's your money, so you should be willing to take the risk. But again, in the age of internet, when it's easy to be influenced, we cannot blame the reader as well, right? Solely the reader. I think it's unfair to think of it like that. We're just gonna denounce, publicly denounce, yes. Yeah, so I mean, they shouldn't be giving out statements. Like, what did he do? What did Elon Musk do? He basically, it was a meme or a picture or something which said that Dogecoin, or a picture of a dog howling at the moon. It basically said Doge howling at the moon, and what people interpreted as was that the Dogecoin is going to hit, the rates of Dogecoin are going to hit the moon. When you think about it, it's very weird, but then people believe it and they make investments based on these statements. Honestly, even I did it, but that's because, but first I saw that market trends. I did not enter the investment till the value had appreciated by like around 3 or 4 rupees, and I was confident then that it's going to go even up because there was a high volume in the trading that was going on. So I did earn quite a lot of money from it, but most of the people, they don't. So probably social media should have some kind of regulation. Celebrities and influencers themselves need to have some kind of self-imposed influence restriction on the content that they talk. I've been playing Civilization 5 for many years now. Apart from the in-game achievements, you do set up targets for yourself. Like you sometimes think, oh, I want to finish this wonder. Like, I have never finished the Great Wall of China as any civilization. I just haven't. So I was hoping to do it, but I couldn't. This turn is this time as well. Maybe next time I'll do it. It's a slow-paced game, so especially for someone like me who is new to the entire experience, I can concentrate both on talking as well as playing the game, because I have a general idea about what I want to do, and this in turn allows me to take decisions. Like my hand just knows what it wants to do. No double meaning intended, but but yes, that's what it is. So have a game where you can just talk about, and plus I'm good at the game. I'm playing at level 6 difficulty. I know, not that difficult, but not too easy as well. I it took me quite some time to reach from level 3 to level 6. Still have 2 more. I think I'm playing at king. There's emperor, and then there's deity difficulty level. But yes, a good game. One of the things about this game is that it gives you the next turn feeling. Like, I'll just play one more turn and I want to see what happens next, and that just drags on for hours and hours. If I want to end the stream right now, I won't be able to, because I just want to know what to do next. I know what to do next, and I just want to see it get done. Okay, we should be moving out now. Only 3 more turns before Dynamite kicks in, and we'll be rolling out to London. So the reason why I can't move out before Dynamite comes in, and this is where geography plays a major role in this game, and I'll just explain it to you in a bit. We just converted Canterbury to Hinduism. So you see the green borders, right? So green borders is basically us, India, right? So what happens is, if we discover artillery after we move our troops out, we won't be able to upgrade our cannons to artillery. So basically we will have to fight the war without that new tech. So I don't want to do that. I want to fight it with the artillery tech. So that's why we are just waiting for 2 more turns before we declare war on UK. But before we declare war, we'll first start moving our troops across so that we can catch them off guard. So this game is all about positioning and timing. You can't just do anything. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. If I declare war now, I'll tell you what happens. Right now, London, the troops, the army of UK is out of position. It's not ready to defend London all that easily. So we'll just swoop in if you're somewhere, or if our troops are somewhere around this area, we'll just swoop in, attack quickly, take over London and the surrounding cities. We should be able to take over York as well if we are swift about it. Most of you might know that India, I'm talking about real India, fought a war in 1970s called the Bangladesh Liberation War. Basically, what had happened was there was this entire unrest going on in East Pakistan at the time, which is present day Bangladesh. So what had happened was the population of Bangladesh or East Pakistan is culturally very different from West Pakistan. That is, West Pakistan is more Punjabi or dominated, whereas East Pakistan is more Bengali dominated because of its area. So they felt culturally misfit in the entire administration, and because Pakistan was dominated with Punjabis, the population did not feel as if they were part of the nation. So that is one of the reasons that caused them the war. So when that war was about to take place, at the time the commander-in-chief of the Indian Army was was General Manek Shah, Sam Manek Shah, who later on became Field Marshal. So the story goes that the Prime Minister at the time, whose name was Indira Gandhi, she called the general into her office to a meeting and basically asked for his opinion on whether they should go ahead with the invasion of Bangladesh. So at the time, this was somewhere in the early part of the year, so it was a monsoon season, and the general said that it's necessary to understand that declaring a war is not as simple as just declaring a war. Uh, in my time at the army, one thing that I learned was that logistics plays a very important role in a war. So what happens is, in a war, more than, yes, the fighting does matter, but at the same time you should be able to continue fighting. You could have a lot of fight in you, but you should have the arms and ammunition to continue fighting. General Manek Shah at the time said that logistically the Indian army was not in a position to take up a war, and if they went ahead with invading Bangladesh, naturally West Pakistan would invade the regions of Rajasthan, Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir at the time. So India would have to fight a two-front war. He outrightly refused to invade Bangladesh and liberate Bangladesh, but he did say that I will definitely do it, but you will have to leave the job of fighting the war to the professionals. You can't make it a political thing. Prime Minister Gandhi, she said that, alright, so when do you want to do this? So he said, I'll need a few months' time. So they decided that they'll attack Bangladesh, go into Bangladesh in December 5th or 10th, somewhere around that time is when they had moved into East Pakistan. So they do that, and so they start. So during that time period, that monsoon period, what they were doing is they were creating. First of all, they were logistically moving themselves into position. So exactly what I'm doing right now. The reason why we won that war was because of the bravery and the courage and the quality of the soldiers and officers that we have in our defense forces, but more importantly, it was the logistics part of it. That we did not go to war for political reasons. We fought a war, and the war was fought professionally, not politically. Like if they wanted if it wasn't politically, we might not have not lost the war, but we could have had much more graver losses than we have today, in according to records at least. So yeah, so it's in a war, it's necessary to be logistically ready, right? If I, like I said, if I had attacked them when I am out of position, they would have gotten time to pull their troops from everywhere and secure London. So that's what I did. So now I'm moving through Rome's territory and moving through England, and once I have at least 2 artillery guns near London, we'll go ahead with the invasion. It's an interesting story though, that of Field Marshal Manek Shah. Wars are won by the men who fight on the field and the men who supply them with the means to fight the war on the field. And I hope that you enjoyed watching the game, playing with me. So good night everyone, and see you around.